Greetings from disgustingly, boringly sunny San Antonio, Texas. This is Michael Bingaman. I know, I don't look like the Michael Bingaman that you remember. I look more like Santa Claus. But trust me, I am the same Michael Bingaman that you remember from years ago. And behind me is Renton Park, which has now become the land of my calling for the last 16 years. Although Renton, the racetrack here in San Antonio, is the land of my calling, the land of my heart has always been and will always be Western Washington. I call myself a displaced Seattleite, not a Texan. My heart will always be with Mount Rainier, Lake Washington, Renton, and the Renton Assemblies of God that did such a big part in developing me into becoming the man of God that I like to believe that I am. It was a Renton Assemblies of God that I learned to laugh, and laugh in a kind and a nice way, well, a kinder way. The trips that we took, whether it was to Canada, or hiking, or downtown, or to the Loop to evangelize. Remember when we went to Canada, how fun that was? How they actually provided for us a dictionary, a British-American dictionary, and the waitresses, they knew we were coming from Renton Assembly of God because they imported American-speaking waitresses just for us. I never laughed so hard in my life than when I was with the group at Renton Assembly. How we could laugh at some of the more obscure things like, "Oh Lord, if it be thy will, let Pastor Frank go through the McDonald's and buy us some hamburgers." And all the funny other things that we provided for each other at Renton Assembly. So many lives touched me. There was Pastor Frank, obviously, Pastor Tapro specifically, Al Johnson, Dave Jones, Glenn Floyd, and others. The trip to Costa Rica, where I began to learn Spanish, even though that wasn't with the youth group, many of you that went were part of the youth group, and we stayed intact. That wasn't an accident. That was because of, in part because of God's will, obviously, and in part because of who held us together on earth, and that was Frank Hebner. Frank, you touched so many of our lives. I will ever be grateful for your friendship, as I'm sure people right now are saying amen. Although I can't be there physically, I promise you I'm there in heart. And it is my hope that this is only the first of other reunions. And as Renton Park has announced new investors, I understand that their finances should become more stable, and therefore my chaplaincy should become more stable. And I really do have hope that someday, in the near future, I can come back and hug you around the neck. Until then, I hope that you have a delightful dinner. I hope that you laugh till you cry. I hope that you remember the good times that Jesus can bring us through each other. And if you laugh at my expense, you're welcome. Know that I would be laughing with you. God bless you. And know that you always will have a friend in San Antonio, Texas. Be well.